featuring we had Joe coming through with What's Love Got to Do featuring Ashanti. Time right now is 10:53. You're still locked and tuned in to the Jump Off. This is the station of the gods, Keith Ngesi Radio, radio according to you. I have the privilege of hanging out with Sammy Bronze. He's a hip hop artist as well as a rap god. And he's hanging out with me for a little bit. Woo woo! He's hanging out with me for a little bit. So, yeah, this man has shared the stages with the likes of Proverb, Jiman Scap. He served as a judge at the SA Hip Hop Awards for 2 consecutive years, and he's
Yes,
got a hit
man.
single with Kid X and a brand new single. And yeah, man, we out here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Sammy Bronze, what up?
Hey, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Can you hear me? Please tell me you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, mate. Loud
Yes.
and clear.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
So, speaking of you being a judge at the SA Hip Hop Awards for two
Yeah.
years, even, how did you even get involved in that?
So I did some ghostwriting. When I'm not wearing a rapper hat, I'm also a journalist.
Okay.
So I did a couple of articles for a hype magazine back in the day,
Mm,
including a profile for Rashid K. That brought down I finally um, um, and Hoodlum. Hoodlum is from another group. He's a rapper slash producer.
okay.
Um, so Hoodlum is from a group called Hidden Force. If you remember back in the day, they had a song called Tsukutsa. I'm not
Oh,
sure if
yeah,
you.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes, so they had brought them down, and that's where we connected via a lady named Nande Kyanki, and then
Mm,
we collaborated, and he asked me to do his profile, and then because I was credible in that sense, because they are involved as Retro Media Group, they are also the same guys that do Back to the City Festival. He asked me to
okay.
be a judge in the category of King of Eastern Cape
Oh,
for 2 years.
nice.
So that's how I
Oh,
got involved.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Okay, that's nice. And how was your experience with that?
It was dope, man. Being involved in any category or being a judge, like you are in the space to propel someone to
Mm,
win an award and for them to go to greater heights. It gives me a great pleasure, a great joy, but it's also a great responsibility because someone else might say, well, what's the criteria they use
yeah,
to
that's
judge?
not fair.
Why didn't
Yeah,
someone else win this? Such and such was doing this. They are way more popular or relevant, or they're way more doper with what they were doing. So, where now, how did you? So it's also a great responsibility, and you must be able to back up the criteria that you used. So,
sure.
it's always interesting to see the backlash that comes with being a judge,
Of
But
course,
I
of
enjoyed,
course.
I thoroughly enjoyed the experience. Thoroughly.
Awesome. Tell me something. We know that right now, after Tyler won the Grammys, we've
Yeah.
got a new genre now called it's Bobbiano. So it's pop and the Yanos kind of jammed in.
Hey,
Did you know
man.
that? Did you know that? We've got a new genre now, Bobbiano. That's what it's called. So I want to know from you, what do you feel the state of music or the state of hip hop is currently
Mm.
right now in South Africa, because we all kind of moving to the Yanos. And when I say all, I'm talking about what you're hearing on the radio stations. I'm talking
Yeah,
about what you're hearing when you go out in the club. I'm talking about what you're
everywhere.
hearing when you do your little, drive, wherever you are. It's about the
Yeah,
Yanos. The buzz and the talk and the shift has moved to the Yanos.
yeah.
So I want to know and find out from you what you think the state of music or the state of hip hop is now, currently in South Africa.
It's concerning.
Mm,
It's concerning.
mm,
Um, what I know, look, pop culture will always gravitate to what is popular. And right now, the Yanos are popular. And
sure.
even the Yanos went through a stage where there was a huge question mark. Is it gonna
mm,
become bubble music like what it was deemed bubble music in the late 80s slash 90s,
mm,
early
mm,
90s? And pianos is prevailing and it's evolving.
mm,
So I am not surprised that a Tyler doing pop piano or whatever it's deemed. There was also a subgenre called Afro-Yanos happening in
mm,
2020, 2021. The
mm,
Yanos are evolving and hip hop needs to respond. And when I say respond, it's not really a malicious thing. It's simply just to say, let us compete. Let us make great music out there. Let us stop
mm,
whining. It hurts me because I see my fellow artists on social media, Facebook or Twitter. All they doing instead of releasing music is complaining. Now we have been reduced to social media rappers, especially my counterparts in Eastern Cape, and it concerns me when we're not
mm,
releasing music. Let us release
mm,
music. Let us
mm,
compete. And let us have the intent to want to be big, to want to,
mm,
yes, let us go for the world. Let us be unambiguous about what we want. So for me,
mm.
I am concerned about the state of hip hop right now. You have Pretty Ugly, for instance, who has released a series of 3 albums.
Mm.
And from what I hear, I haven't really delved into the albums. I've listened to songs here and there, but from
Sure.
what I get, that he's released a solid body of work for the past 3 albums, and now he is retiring. And now it's like the the critical acclaim that you get for the albums is not matching maybe the financial um sort of like
Yeah.
aspect of your
Yeah.
acclaim. You may be
Yeah.
famous, but it's not equating to the money. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And it does weigh on your spirit. It does. I know that for a fact. I mean, I
Mm.
don't know the guy, but I certainly know that when there's a disparity between your fame and the end result of finances, and the
Mm.
math not mathing, it
Mm.
becomes a problem. So, such things, and it's like I understand it, but it's hurtful at the same time. And Proverb has
Definitely.
spoken about this, like why he stopped
Mm.
rapping and just went to the media lane, because the math doesn't math,
The
and the
best
support
doesn't matter.
doesn't math, and the support that supporters claim to give you on the back end, it's not making sense, because at the end of the
Mm.
day, to eat, you need to live. These
Mm.
guys are fathers, they husbands, they partners, and so it needs to math. And my
Mm.
thing is, there's this thing in the music industry that it absolutely perturbs me, and
Mm.
it's this notion of when you pursue music, you need to quit high school and focus on that. You need to quit
Mm.
varsity or higher learning education and focus on
Mm.
that. What that
Mm.
does to you, yes, you focus solely on the music and you make it picked up by a label, but you actually do not have an actual trade to fall back on. And if anything has shown us in COVID, the flames that the artist saw at that time, because there's nothing to fall back on. You don't have a union to represent you. Aunandoyo, holy, auna union, auna. Do you know what I'm saying? So all these things are daunting. You keep on reaching your hands up for
I'm
God.
not grant. I'm not grant.
Auna
I'm not grant. I'm not grant to win.
Nix. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And there's no
Mm.
ways I would have survived. Yes, I had a hit song on other stations. I did have a hit song in 2020, 2021, but there's
Mm.
no ways I could have lived off that alone. And SAMRO royalties are not something that pay you monthly. ISAMRO
Mm.
ifana lump sum. Imali zakho
Mm.
zidubula ngalo nyanga in the fiscal.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm.
if anything that has taught us during that COVID era is definitely to have something to fall back on, have a trade.
Sure.
And right now,
Mm.
rappers are in such a dismal space that all they can do is whine and complain. And it shows we're not making music. I said
Yeah.
my socials, I was speaking to my peers, we're not making music and it's showing.
Mm,
I mean,
mm.
think about it. When was the last SA hip hop song that was a hit? Apart from songs like Sosh Plata or Lemonade from AKA,
From
like big
AKA
songs.
and
You know what
FTC.
I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I
Yeah.
go to the clubs and I listen to a Yano set versus what the
The hip
DJ,
hop set will be.
the hip hop set. It will be
Mm.
predominantly American hip hop, and
Hip
then there'll
hop.
be about one or two songs from SA. So it shows you, you know, if you look back between 2013 and 2017, I could sit in the club and hear an entirely SA hip hop set.
That's
That's
right.
not
That's
happening
right.
right now. So
Yeah.
we need to
Yeah.
make the hits, and we need to have the intent to make the hits. That's where we're at right now.
Fair enough. I do want to, because we are celebrating World Radio Day today, I want to
Absolutely.
know from you. I want to know from you what you think the role that radio has played, not only with music, but just generally with hip hop, the hip
Mm,
hop culture.
mm. It's invaluable. Um, it validated hip hop. You know,
Mm,
not so long ago in the early 2000s, or DJs who were calling us Amakoporosh. You know what I'm saying? I
mm,
remember that era. I remember
mm,
it very well. And
mm,
hip hop needed to be in the radio space to be validated. Hip hop needed to live in your tongue as a
mm,
broadcaster, you know, to back announce
mm,
the song, to back announce who the artist is, validated us, gave us the stamp of approval to say, oh, these guys are serious. They're not just playing
mm,
around. And so it's immense. I don't think you can measure the role radio has played in hip hop.
mm,
Even a Casper Nyovest with what the success he has generated. I remember in his early years of, like in his first couple of albums, he was still
mm,
saying, I want radio. He still wanted the validation because he understood
mm,
how important it is. In as much as the
mm,
internet helped him blow up, he still wanted the validation. So for me, in World Radio Day, um, I need to live in that space, and I appreciate that I do live in that space.
mm.
Because, like, I mean, someone out there is listening going, who the hell is this guy, and why is he important? Why is Quax talking to him? Do you know what I'm saying? Until the song
Yeah.
plays, and then they go, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So
Sure.
absolutely, you guys are important. Shout out to all the radio stations. Bring back the community radio stations. When they shut them down, it hurt my heart because I come from there. I have a soft spot for community radio. You know, I also have community radio experiences. So, man, it hurts me whenever I hear that a radio station is on the brink of foreclosure or something like that.
Mm,
So shout out
mm,
for keeping Yesi Radio, for staying alive in this radio, World Radio Day. So absolutely, it's immeasurable the role it has played in getting us
mm.
out.
All right, thank you. Listen,
Yeah,
let's talk about now this new song, right?
yeah.
You, this is, I'm guessing just a single. Are we doing an album here? What's the plan? Can you walk me through that? And also, what inspired this song and what does it mean?
Can you see my T-shirt?
Yes,
Can you see what's written there?
Prague.
Yes, I took a trip to Prague.
Okay,
Took a trip to Prague. Came back rejuvenated. I was in Prague when the Rugby World Cup final was playing.
live.
So okay,
Really?
so there's twofold. So it was a wild experience. I initially went there to go see one of my favorite artists of all time, who is 50 Cent. So I went to go see a 50 Cent concert in Prague.
Okay.
Busta
Okay.
Rhymes was also a headliner. Jeremiah was also a headliner. It was an absolute showstopper. So after I watched the show, I immediately left. I was with my cousin. Immediately left. We went to go find the nearest pub where we could watch the Rugby Cup final.
Sure.
So capturing that whole weekend, I came back jet lagged. But the day after, I hit my producer,
Mm,
TYC Osi, and I
yeah.
said, let's hit the studio. What you got for me? He played the beat, and we recorded instantly on that day, the very same day, very same night. And then I was like, I want to put it out there as fast as I can to let people know I'm back. You know what I'm saying? Like I had been riding the wave of dust, and I needed to make another statement to say, look, again, this whole notion of let's compete, guys, let's go out there and make the best music that we can. So the basic Fakale way is something that's always be on my mind. Fakale way, this
Back and
this
away for me.
gotta pay for this. You know what I'm saying? Like I like using terms that we use on an everyday basis. You know,
Sure,
I I have songs called Jonga Chap. You know, again another conversational thing. I had a song called Central. So my titles are always conversational. So when I say
sure.
Fakale way, I'm talking about listen, man. I'll be out here putting in this work. Let's get to the bag. This work ain't
Yeah,
free. You gotta pay for this. You know what I'm saying? So the first verse, in fact, both verses, you know, when I'm harmonizing and I'm actually rapping, they speak to my experience and the inspiration of Prague and how I came back from home. I brought some goodies for the family. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a feel good song to say, listen, it's top of the year. Let's get it cracking. January, here we are. Fagale Wade. Let's get it rocking. You know what I'm saying? So that was the
lovely.
inspiration behind the song.
Oh, so awesome. So great. That's a very interesting story. So, are you going to come through with an album? What's your story?
I want an album to come with all the bells and whistles, all the
Okay,
high quality production, the features too, both
sure,
artist and producer. So I want a red carpet approach to an album. So leading up to an album, I'm releasing singles and I'm releasing EPs. That's what I've
sure,
been doing over the years because I truly believe I still need a red carpet. I need to make noise, a hullabaloo, and it needs to be with the right people, either the right
sure,
management or the right label to to
sure.
to propel me. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I am still an indie artist. I have been in a couple of labels before. Things didn't really work out the way I planned. But I do want to collaborate and work with people that are going to give me that platform to make all the noise, to make all the right moves, and promote an album so people can say, hey, this is a marquee album. It deserves our attention. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So up
mm.
until then, I'm releasing EPs, I'm releasing singles. I need to
Okay,
have a big bang for the album. So
sure.
I'm taking my time before I do it.
Okay, cool. No, understood, understood. And then just last thing before I have to let you go, where can people find you on socials?
For sure. Semi bronze everywhere. Semi bronze on Facebook. Semi bronze, semi underscore bronze on Instagram. Bronzeman 18 on Twitter, and semi bronze on my YouTube channel.
Oh, you
Yeah,
got, what do you do on your YouTube channel?
my videos, my music also is living in there. So if you wanna go on YouTube and you just want a playlist to ride out, you can just go to my channel and all the songs are just gonna flow from there. For just seamless listening.
All right, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Sammy, I want to thank you so much for hanging out and joining me and forgiving me for last week because we're supposed to actually do this last week. But I want to thank you. You've been such
Radio,
a good
man.
sport.
These things happen.
Yeah. Thank you for being such a good sport. I had a really awesome time hanging out with you. Hopefully, we'll do this again soon. Yeah, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me. Thank you to the listeners for sticking around and listening to this interview. I had a great time. Thank you so much.
Awesome stuff. It's just gone 30 minutes, 13 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock. This is still the jump off on Keith Ngesi Radio, radio according to you. It's a station of the gods, baby. And I've had the pleasure of hanging out with Sammy Bronze as he kind of walked me through his musical journey. And we spoke music, we talked hip hop, and we talked radio. It is World Radio Day today. We are celebrating it. Remember, if you still want to send through your voice notes and let me know what radio means to you, and tell me some of your memories, you can do so. The number to dial is 066 That's 066 Send me a WhatsApp message, a voice note. You know what? Whatever floats your boat, really. I'm in it to win it. Otherwise, thank you so much, Sammy. Bye bye. Let's get
You.
into some. Let's get into some music, man. I do have some Jabba coming through on the playlist this morning. Oh, yeah. You know it.